Okay, fine. Hey, kid, I'm Al Chervick. I'm playing with Drew Scott today. This is my guest, Mr. Wang. No offense.
On the sea, you became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Seal. Do you remember Seal? That song was so popular for so long. I really like it too. It just happened to have it in the music catalog, and I thought that would be a good one to kick off with here. Anyway, welcome to North Berwick Golf Club, located in Scotland, just about an hour and a half drive east of Edinburgh. This was the very first round on our trip to Scotland. This was in like the spring of 2022, just before the Open Championship was held at St. Andrews. So we were just kicking off the trip here. I was pretty stiff getting off the plane. Frankly, pretty rusty because I hadn't practiced that much, but that's okay. You got to go to Scotland when you can go to Scotland. So here we are. First pro tip I'll give you is that you should add some weight to your putter when you go to Scotland, because the greens, they feel really firm under your feet, but they're actually super slow. And if you're used to putting really fast US style greens like bent grass or other things that are just mown really tight, these ones are like, I don't know if it's like the sand or exactly what it is, but they putt really slow, and that ended up with me 3-putting there. Today we're playing match play, and it's a net match. Matt's a +2 handicap. That's my opponent. +2 means he's really good at golf. I'm a 10 handicap. So we basically agreed to a certain number of strokes on each side, and I'll get those on each of the hardest holes. My friend Dan, who you see here, he's a really good player, 2 handicap, and he and I had the wonderful fortune of playing the old course together later on this trip. And I've got all the footage from that little round as well. That'll be coming up later on this channel as soon as I get a chance to edit it. If you're not as familiar with how match play works, basically just think of it as each little hole is its own little thing, and there's 1 point available on each hole. If both players shoot the same score, there's no blood. And then if one player beats the other one, they get 1 point. If they beat the other player by like 3 strokes, though, it's still just 1 point. Very exciting shot there. Mark holed out from about 50 yards. Unfortunately, I was busy setting up my tripod, so I could not get that shot. If you want to impress your Scottish caddy, all you got to do is on a shot like this, pull out your pitching wedge instead of what every other American does, and getting their 60-degree lob wedge out or whatever. I kind of duffed that chip there, but usually I'm pretty good at playing those little low runners. You see 3 lines that I've set up there. That shaft to forearm line, that's pretty common across most good putters that you'll see. And then on a few more of these putts, I'll show that start line and straight line. I think that's a nice way to think about putting, and that's kind of the principle behind. If you're familiar with something called aim point, you have a start line, it's a straight line, and then you've got the people always talk about an apex on a putt. I don't really get what they're talking about, to be honest. It's just not how physics works. If you watch Phil Mickelson's short game video, he talks about this in some good detail. He's a smart guy sometimes. back to the course here, North Berwick. So we've got these really cool old ancient crumbling stone walls that go all over the property, and sometimes they're even like right up. Either go right through the fairway, or they go right near by the green, and it just gives the course so much character. It's very, very cool. The entire plot of land is really just gorgeous, perched right up on the sea. The first 8 holes all go straight out from the clubhouse. I think that's facing west. Yeah. Not sure on that. Anyway, it's going out from the clubhouse for the first 8 holes. And then the 9th hole takes a 90-degree turn to the right, and then you turn around and you come straight back to the clubhouse for the rest of the incoming 9. So just a pure kind of classic Scottish links layout right along the sea. Here's just trying to get the weight of this putt right, and then I forgot to read it. So didn't really get either thing correct there. But let's watch Matt and how he sets up to this. Look at how upright he's setting that handle, and then he hits it pretty low. And I think that's a really good way to play these things. He hit that a little firm, but for the most part, you know, getting that heel off the ground a little bit, keeping that thing low and running like a putt. Nice way to get a lot of chip shots close to the hole. So at this point in the match, I mean, more than anything, what I know is that I'm just really not playing my best golf. And when you're in a match and you know that that's the case, you're trying to kind of just do a little bit of damage control. And even with Matt gross bogeying that hole and me having a stroke on it, I ended up losing that one to him, which is a little bit of a bummer. Quick peek here first at the famous Redan hole. It's the most copied par 3 in all of golf. But I think in this point of the round, I'm just trying to steady myself, and my main goal is really just to try to start doing what I know how to do, and that's just make a par or 2, get back on track. I'm 2 down in the match through 3 holes, so even just like having a hole, tying one, would be pretty good for me right now, and that's all I'm trying to do here. So hit the green here, nice roll for my birdie attempt, and that's a tap-in par, so that feels pretty good. In Scotland, there are dogs on a lot of the golf courses, and it's just a big dog culture. I'm a huge dog person too, so I love that part of it. Matt had that putt to save his par. We have the hole, and I stay 2 down on the match. Hole 5, pretty good par 4 coming up here. It's not like overly difficult, but you want to kind of keep your drive a little bit to the left. Not as much as I did there. That was just a pretty bad hook. This line that Dan took is a lot better. And again, more than anything, I'm just trying to steady my ship a little bit, play some decent shots, get in my groove, get my tempo right. Now look at my handicap and kind of just general skill level. I think, oh, that was a really good shot there, from where I was. My driver has always been a really weak point in my game, so I've been working hard on that and getting the technique right. I'm a pretty good iron player and a good putter, but always struggled with my like little half wedges and that sort of thing. I just never practiced them enough. So, all right, birdie putt here. Legging it up there pretty close, so I have a little tester left for my par. Matt just missed for his par, and I think I might be popping here as well. Yeah, I was. So I still won that hole, because I made a net par versus his bogey. Nice cool little par 3 here. That dip down there in front of the green is a lot deeper than it looks. You'll see an angle coming up here where a caddy walks into the frame. Yeah, avoid that cavernous bunker. The folly of underclubbing is plain to see. But here, yeah, just try to miss a little long, which I think I did there. The sea is off to the right, of course. The wind is still howling. I've got it muted, of course, but here you go. And here comes the caddy in just a little bit. There he is. So look at how deep that is. It's just crazy. So I hit my shot over here in the rough. We're assessing the lie, which is the most important part of any greenside chip. And my tripod had enough of that wind and just decided to take a break for that shot. This is Matt coming up with his birdie attempt. Leg that up pretty nice and tight to the hole. My chip is just past there, so I've got that left for my par attempt. And it just lips out. So that's a bogey for me, unfortunately, on what's a pretty straightforward hole. Matt, of course, made a nice smooth par, so I'm back to 2 down on the front 9. Another shorty, par 4 coming up. However, it's a pretty difficult one because there are a lot of bunkers. There's a pretty tricky green complex. You're going to get a nice view of my caddy's butt here. I didn't have the heart to tell him to move. Pro Book says to drive it straight and don't hit it in the water. So thank you for that lovely advice. I kind of duffed my tee shot over here, and you're going to see overall this is a pretty sloppy hole. Anytime that I'm hitting iron and then fairway wood, something went wrong. So that's golf, though. You got to roll with the punches. Third shot here, and actually struck this one really, really well. I think I got it up onto the green, so I'm going to have like an outside chance at a par save. Let's watch Matt as he creeps down into this bunker here. Face was wide open on that, and he just executes these things so well. He's really good at all these flop shots. But that leaves me with a par net birdie attempt to win the hole, but ended up 2-putting that to have the hole, and now I'm 2 down with 2 holes to play. So I'm dormy on the front 9. That's all right, though. I mean, it means I can't win the front. Best I can do at this point is tie the front 9. But my mentality here is sort of shifting now to, okay, the front 9 is in all likelihood over, but if I can win one of these holes, that really changes the momentum. And what I really don't want to do is lose a hole here, because that totally changes my mentality and how aggressive I can be starting on the back 9. So just going to try to play a couple of really solid holes. If I have them both, that's okay. If I win one, that's great. That's just that would be just awesome. Really well struck ball there. No complaints at all. So that wind was kind of over my shoulders there, pushing off to the right, which is a really tough wind to play in. If you find yourself on a driving range and you have that wind, it's a good one to just spend a little bit of extra time practicing. Yeah, push that putt well out to the right. Really not my best effort. So really frustrating there to make that score and go 3 down with just this one hole left to play. If there's a silver lining, it's that Matt made a birdie on that hole, so even if I had parred it, I would have lost it. So now my mentality is very much just trying to get back in this match a little bit. If I can get it back from 3 down to just 2 down, that would feel pretty good going into the back 9 here. This hole, pretty straightforward par 5, and I do get a stroke here. So all I'm trying to do is, if I can, make a par. Par would be a net birdie here. Nice tee shot to start off there, so I'm off to a good start. Bunkers at North Berwick are just awesome too. Looks like kind of a big coffin there. Second shot on a par 5, all you're trying to do is set yourself up to give myself pretty much a good up and down. This is a pretty short par 5. It's only 519 yards. Matt absolutely bombed his drive down here, but then uncharacteristically actually pushed that thing out to the right a bit. So now I've got a pitching wedge in my hands, or a short wedge. Yeah, that's probably a 56-degree wedge. Just trying to get it up somewhere near the green, because now if I 2-putt, that looks pretty good with a net birdie, because Matt's going to have a harder time making birdie from where he's at. So this is where the pressure's on. From just off the green, I know that if I get this up and down, I'll have a very good chance at winning the hole. Stuck in the routine and put it up there pretty tight. Little tester left, with a little bit of pressure left on it too. And when you have one of these putts, I think the biggest thing is just stick with your routine. Don't judge it on whether you make or miss it, but on whether you sort of followed your whole process right. And there, thankfully, I did follow it right, made it, won the hole, and got back down to just 2 down. So, yep. So there's the front 9. North Berwick has an awesome pro shop, so just be sure to spend a little bit of extra time, or make sure you get there early enough so you can use it. You can skip the driving range, it's not that great. Back 9 will be coming soon. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Remember to enter that putter contest, and till next time, play well, play fast. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
The light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I can bring you to a kiss from a rose on